Hey, morning everyone. It's Celebration Friday, and I wanted to talk about this topic because I've been having some clients that have been having this experience, and I thought it might prove to serve all of you in this group as well. Because a lot of times when we are in we live we tend to live in the present, not in the present moment, but live into the future moment or into our past. So we're either thinking about deadlines that are coming up, and we're thinking, how are we going to complete that? And our minds are completely focused into that future moment. Or we're thinking about some past moment and saying, like, either, man, I miss that kind of thing, like having a nostalgia experience, or maybe we're having an experience of, um, well, that didn't really go very well, and that kind of was not awesome, and like I really don't like this kind of past experience. Um, and we think about those things, and then like we're not very focused on what's going on in the present moment. And what I noticed for myself is when coaches have helped me focus into the present moment, I have felt so alive. And it's such an interesting experience to feel that, because like what I tend to do is I close my eyes, I take a couple deep breaths, and I start thinking about what I'm experiencing in that moment. Like things like what I hear, so the birds outside, that you may not be hearing right now through my video. Um, the feeling of the cool air on my skin because it's spring and it's not super hot yet. Um, my heartbeat, and the feeling of what else? The feeling of like looking around the room and getting curious for me at the moment, or um, thinking about how my body feels sore from doing capoeira 3 days ago now still. And like those things, we don't often think about them, but when we think about them, we ground into the present moment and we feel very directly what's happening. Um, there was a time when I was asked to share what I was experiencing in front of a big group of people. And I said, like, my heart was racing. I felt my palms get sweaty. I felt myself think about, I don't know what I'm going to say next. But all of those things brought me very present to my moment. And that's what I really want to celebrate today, that feeling of being alive in this very moment, no matter what you're experiencing in this very moment, returning to that aliveness. And because often what I hear my clients talking about is either past experiences, maybe with a boss or a previous job that didn't work out, or thinking about how am I going to get that future job, and I don't know how this is going to happen, and I'm totally scared, and I feel I'm in desperation mode. And both of those, like, it can be nice to talk about nostalgic past, or something like that, or being excited into the future. But when you're feeling desperate into the future, and when you're talking about something negative in your past, it's really good to ground in the moment, ground into your specific moment right now, and say, what are you experiencing right now? And acknowledge that experience, and then feel that aliveness from it, and say, okay, now what do I want to do from this place? And even if you're feeling like, if you feel like, instead of saying that I feel desperate, you're saying, you know, if in that moment you're feeling your heart racing, your mind feels like it's all over the place, whatever the case may be, at least you're grounding back into this specific moment. You're feeling into this moment, and you're returning to where you are right now, so that then you can feel alive, and you can say, okay, now what do I want to do? Because, and I do this quite often, like I think I do this the most in big moments of transition for me. I forget where I am right now. It's like I completely lose sight of where I'm at, and I think about instead, where do I want to go? And so I lose myself a bit, and it's like this interesting feeling. And I think all of us do this quite a bit, but we don't acknowledge it too often. That when we are so focused on the past or the future, we kind of lose our present moment. We lose our journey, because I think it's the Miley Cyrus song that talks about it's the climb. It's not about reaching the top of the mountain. It's about the climb all the way up. But we kind of lose the focus on the climb when we're focused on either, you know, where we started at the bottom of the hill or where we're going to the top of the hill, and we lose that journey piece. And like, I think that it's it's not getting to the final destination that matters so much as like the journey is the majority of the time that we're here, right? And we hit certain milestones for sure, but if we only celebrate, if we only live in the present moment and relish the milestones when we achieve them, then we're missing a lot of our journey, and we're missing being present in the moment. And that's what I really invite you to do today. Get present in the moment. What can you do today to enjoy your life? What can you do today to cherish what you're up to, and cherish where you're at right now? Exactly where you are, 100%, having what you have, even if it's not like, even if you think that's not what you want, but just enjoy what you currently have and be grateful for that. Because there's a real gift in being present today, being present right now, noticing what you have. And like, I did this for men. I'll say I did the opposite. I was not present for many, many years at sometimes. Like, I remember the moment when I graduated from college and my friends were all talking about these awesome experiences we had through college, and I was like, man, I don't really remember a lot of these things. Like, I realized that I didn't get present in the moment of my college experience because I was so worried about not about losing my scholarship to go to Boston University that I spent a lot of time studying. And I did have fun in college for sure, but I realized that my friends were having an experience all through the 4 years of college, and I was so focused, I was so worried about where I was going, I was so worried about the future that I didn't allow myself to enjoy the moment. And it's really tragic. And after that experience, I was a lot more dedicated to, when I moved to DC, to making sure that I have fun regularly, to go out, to meet people, to have fun, to not be so worried about my career, because I realized that my career is important to me, but enjoying every moment was even more important to me. And I keep building on that. I keep learning, and I keep getting lost from time to time, in my own experience and being focused either on the future or on the past. But more and more, I am being more present to my moment because it is about the climb. It is about that. It is about, what my journey is and what every day is. And if I focus so much on the past or the future, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss all of it. And I invite you not to miss all of it. I invite you to think about, what is it today that you want to celebrate? And what is it today that you want to get present to? And share in this group about that. Share with a hashtag celebration, and say, what is it that you're getting present to today? And I'd love to hear from you. And I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks for joining me.